EFT tapping. What is it? What's its real name? Its real name is emotional freedom tapping. It's been around for a long time. It uses the meridians in your body with the acupressure and acupuncture points. It's old Chinese medicine, really, thousands of years old. And we're starting to use more and more of it. And we're finding fantastic results with it. What it does is think of the meridian as rivers through your body with little areas that can dam up and get blocked. When you tap on these points, what you do is you break up the blockage and let the energies flow through you and to the rest of your body. Now, I was taught the EFT tapping by Mike Mindell, and he has got it down to 6-step tapping. Now, I've seen many different people out there who do tapping. I've got programs myself where I've seen it use up to 10, maybe 12 areas to tap for EFT. But I find Mike's is very useful, especially when you feel it, the emotions building up quickly. You can suppress it fast. All systems are good. It's just, I find with this one, it gets to the problem and solves it quickly. Now, I would highly suggest that you're hydrated when you do this, and you're in a room that doesn't have a lot of electrical interferences, TVs, computers, what have you. If when you tap you find out that you're not getting the results that you think you should be getting, or we'll talk about SUDS later, or the numbers in SUDS aren't going down in big chunks, then rehydrate and move to another room. They're the easiest things. That's why I'd rather see you hydrate before you even start and move to an area that has not as much electrical magnetic interferences. Tapping can be used for pretty much anything in life if you're looking at it, the emotional side of it. I would suggest for grieving, high stress situations where you have to calm down and eliminate that emotional attachment to it. I will go through the steps, and I'll start from the very beginning and we'll work through them. I'll go through it twice and we'll talk about it again afterwards. So what you want to do is, when we'll use grieving as the item, name it. Everything has a name, and if you name it, you own it a little bit better, and your unconscious mind will really stand up and say, oh, okay, this is the problem. So we'll call it grieving, and what we want to do is give it a subjective unit of distress number, and that's where the SUDS come in. What we do is the best of the best is 0. You have no problems with it. 10 is the worst case scenario of the feeling. So what you do is you name it, then you give it that number, and you should be able to get a number 7 to 10, somewhere in that area for most things. Some people have a 10 right off the bat. And so you've given it a name and you've given it a number. The little caveat to this one is that you really have to feel it. You have to feel it inside you. You have to have that number that is just, destroying you. And you have to feel that. If you say, oh, I'm grieving. Yeah, it's about a 10 or it's about an 8. You're not feeling it. You're too standoff. You have to feel the number, and you have to really feel that name inside you. Once you got that down, then the tapping will start. And the very first spot is the very top of the head, and it's been called the anxiety spot. All spots that you will be tapping do have a name. I haven't researched exactly what name is what, because all the spots relate to different parts of the body. But you start at the top, and you only tap about 5 or 6 times. Tap hard enough that you do feel it, and feel it strongly, but not enough that you're going to bruise yourself or give you a headache. That's the wrong way. But you want to tap it so you can hear it inside your head. And you'll tap that 5 or 6 times, and as you're tapping it, you'll say grieving. Then you go to the middle of the forehead on the vertical, and you're using all your fingers, and you tap grieving. Now, by using all your fingers on the top of the head and wherever else you tap, you're sure to hit the spot that needs to be hit. Because of human anatomy, places vary just slightly, but using all your fingers, you're going to hit it. Then, to the side of the temple, by the eye, tap, say grieving. Underneath the eye, same thing. You tap and say grieving. Now, on the collarbone, just to the underside of the collarbone, there's a little bit of a hollow between the collarbone and the ribs. If you come down to where the breastplate is and tap in that area, in that soft hollow spot, grieving. Now, tapping it that way, there again, you're going to make sure that you hit the point. On the wrist, you can tap on the wrist, say grieving, and then you clasp the wrist. Take a deep breath in, down in the belly, and then when you exhale through the mouth, say peace and look at it. Then you'll go back and you'll think, grieving still there? Yeah. Oh, what's the suds on it? Oh, it's about a 4. So you know that you're doing it the right way. It's just that it needs to be worked at it again. And you go through the whole procedure, top of the head, grieving, 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 peace. Work it down to 0. You have to eliminate everything. You might have to do it 3 times. You might luck out and have it done within 1 round of tapping, depending on the problem. You might have to do it 4 or 5 times, depending on the problem. As long as the numbers are jumping down quickly, your location's good and your hydration's good. If you find that the numbers go from a 8 to 7 to 6, take a glass of water, drink it, give yourself 10 minutes, and then go back at it and start tapping again. If for any reason it goes from, say, a 2 and jump back up to a 9, look at the feeling again. Is it grieving, or is it sadness maybe? Name it. You've already got the suds. Do it. Do the tapping on that new name. And as it goes down, go down to 0. I like to look at it as like peeling an onion. You've already got rid of one problem or one issue, and it's gone away, but another one has surfaced. So what you want to do is you want to get rid of as much emotion as possible to the negative. And with that, If you need any more advice on this, you can either contact me through Sue Jones, or like I say, there's a lot out there. There's good stuff out there, but make it positive. You don't want to keep the negative surrounded you. Zoe, who you've heard her use of it, it worked for her, and there's no reason why it shouldn't. So good luck in the future, and God bless. Bye for now.